Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to Senran Kagura Burst Renewal! We are moving on to the second chapter. Katsuragi's training. More dummy training? It's a tried and true method, I suppose. I recommend wide-range attacks. Alright, let's go, Katsuragi! Oh wait, was there? No, there was not a top secret file there. The ninja room's atmosphere is thick and heavy. My students' faces are dark with despair. Hardly surprising. There's a world of difference between classwork and actual combat. Asuka and Katsuragi lost their battles, and the other three are in shock. I'm unsure of what to say next. Should I praise them? Tell them they did well? They survived their first real fight, and that alone is noteworthy. Asuka is staring at me straight in the face. Her gaze is that of a puppy looking at its owner. I'm suddenly reminded of a former student. Is it Rin? Is it Rin? It's Rin. That's right. Never again will I repeat that mistake. I finally find the words to continue speaking.
Hebijoの生徒にやられて気落ちしているようなやつは、忍びになるのを諦めてここから出ていけ。
Rin. The first pupil I ever had. She always sought to become a super ninja in order to help bring peace to the world. Her enthusiasm as a student was a huge help to me as a teacher. She was always like that. The moment she caught sight of me, she'd ask me to help her train. At times, I applauded her unbridled enthusiasm, though it occasionally troubled me. Rin and I went to a small hill. Many wooden dummies were set up for training. Rin demolished the dummies in sequence. After breaking 6 dummies in a row, she was breathing hard. From her face, it was obvious that she was ready for more. It was as if growing stronger were a foregone conclusion.
Rin, お前なんで忍びになりたいんだ?
After all, a shinobi is like a pawn in chess, disposable. Anyone who seeks to become a shinobi has to come to terms with that. Which was why her enthusiasm concerned me.
先生、私忍びになんてなりたくないけど。
I spoke without thinking.
私がなりたいのはスーパー忍者だから。
スーパー忍者?
それで世界に平和を。ラブ&ピース。
It was so silly that I was momentarily at a loss for words.
それじゃさ、先生はなんで忍びになったの？
Rin's eyes held naked curiosity. Her simple, unadulterated gaze caught me off guard. I found myself answering her question despite never having told anyone else.
お前たち生徒と同じで、たまたま両親が忍びだったからだ。
I was trained as a shinobi from a young age. Never once was I in doubt about it. Since my parents were shinobi, I would be one as well. It was simply a matter of course. I had talent as a shinobi, so my parents were not disappointed. I leaped up to the high shinobi rank with no difficulty. But to say I was happy would be a lie. No matter my skill, I knew I was still disposable. What purpose did achieving high shinobi even serve?
最上人って言ったらさ、エリート中のエリートじゃない。それがさ、こう言っちゃなんだけど、どうして先生なんかになったの？
簡単な理由さ。忍びの任務で死ぬことはあっても、教師の仕事で死ぬことはない。
任務で死ぬ。
In that moment, I saw her face stiffen.
そうだよね。私も忍びになる以上覚悟する。命をかけてラブ&ピース。
Sure enough, cheer and an optimism rushed back into her face. I wondered just how much Rin understood about being a shinobi. It made me somewhat uneasy, but when I looked in her eyes, I found I didn't have the heart to tell her so. It might be a good thing, I thought. It might be good to have a shinobi like her. She didn't have a doubt in her mind, and when she was there in front of me, neither did I.
もう一度言う。ヘビ女の生徒にやられて気落ちしているようなやつは、忍びになるのを諦めてここから出ていけ。
I immediately sensed the change in the ninja room's atmosphere.
キリア先生、いくらなんでも言い過ぎでは？
Ikaruga says in a surprisingly rough tone.
そうだよ。キリア先生、そりゃないぜ。
Katsuragi's face puffs with irritation.
あたいは何を言われてもいいさ。だけど、アスカはまだ2年生だってのに、敵の大将みたいなやつと戦ったんだぜ。殺されなかっただけでも大したもんだよ。まずは一言ぐらい褒めてやってもいいんじゃないか？
Asuka looks downward with her eyes brimming red. But faint praise will only result in more sorrow down the road. I can feel it in my bones.
ヘビ女が育成しているのは、政治や企業の暗部を担う忍び、いわゆる悪人。非道と言われるような仕事も厭わない連中だ。
Everyone remains breathless at my words.
悪人は手段を選ばない。目的を達成するまで執拗に攻めてくるだろう。それこそ蛇のようにな。
戦いを避ける方法はないのでしょうか？
Ikaruga asks, frowning.
悪人は交渉が通じる相手ではない。奴らは必ずまた攻めてくる。
だったらこっちから先に攻めるってのはどうだ？
Katsuragi asks. I shake my head silently.
ヘビジョの本拠地がつかめていないのは知っているはずだ。
Katsuragi sinks at my words. Hibari speaks up, trying to break the tension.
でも今度はキリア先生がいるから大丈夫だよ。そうですね。キリア先生がいらっしゃれば。
Ikaruga nods in agreement with Hibari. Relief floods the students' faces. They all rely on me. I know that. It's only been a few years since their normal lives ended. The shinobi world is still very new to them in many ways. Of course, the idea of fighting evil shinobi to the death still scares them. But that's why I...
ヘビジョとの戦いに関して俺は手を貸すつもりはない。
My students are stunned into silence.
なぜでしょうか？理由を教えてください。
Ikaruga pleads.
キリア先生、ヒバリたちを助けてくれないの？ヒバリたちを見捨てるの？
Hibari pleads doubly, on the verge of tears. I use the most authoritative voice I can muster.
前にも言ったはずだ。お前たちは学生とはいえ忍びだ。忍びとしての覚悟を持て。
I will never forget what happened at Rin's final exam. Not until the day I die.
これが最終試験だ。うまく合格すれば、お前は明日から一人前の忍びだ。
緊張するな。
She knew the stakes. If she failed the test, the path of the shinobi would be forever closed to her. The final exam has to be completed before finishing one's time at the academy. And as a third-year student, this was to be Rin's very last chance. The final exam involves real combat. The opponents are wooden puppets equipped with actual weapons. In order to pass, the student must destroy all of these puppets, unscathed, within the time limit. Rin's dedication was unmatched, but she was a bit scatterbrained and her grades weren't the best. If she didn't put forth her best effort, passing would be a very difficult prospect.
それじゃ行きます。
She rushed into the test site. I thought I saw a bit of a shiver as I watched her go. She'd always spoken glibly of wanting to be a super ninja, but the truth is, she was actually quite naive with no concept of the harsh reality ahead of her. Even so, she was also my first student. I wanted more than anything to send her out into the world of the shinobi, just as she dreamed. A wooden puppet leapt out of the grass. With practiced precision, Rin cut it down.
よし、やった。
As soon as that first puppet fell, her movements grew more confident. I could see that in her as she cut down the second one. One after another, the puppets flew apart.
軽い軽い。
Rin was in perfect form. Her defense and offense were both on par with that of a greater shinobi. she'd taken all her training to heart. But even though she fought with a fluid grace, I still felt a touch uneasy. Stay calm, Rin, I thought. Stay focused. Be aware of your surroundings. When one is doing well, one must be more cautious. And then my fears came true. A sniper puppet had been stationed 50 meters away from Rin atop a tree. It raised its gun and took aim. Flush with confidence, she seemed blind to its presence. What to do? If I did nothing, Rin would have been shot. And then the test would have been over. Her dreams of being a shinobi would have been shattered. Damn it, I thought. Without even thinking, I'd begun to move. A high shinobi can, with the proper effort, cover 50 meters of ground in an instant. I destroyed the puppet and covered my tracks. I'm sorry. I don't believe he could have done that. I mean, I get it. But I also am like, I don't believe it. That much was easy for me. As a teacher, I was racked with guilt. I knew full well that I'd done something wrong. But in that moment, all I wanted was to see Rin's dream come true. Rin was jumping up and down in the grass. The test was over, and the unscathed Rin had otherwise cleared it. They gave her a passing grade then and there. And the next day, she received her first assignment as a full-fledged shinobi. Before she left, Rin came to see me, her eyes flooded with tears of pure joy. That would be the last time she and I spoke. Only a few months later, the principal informed me of Rin's death. My mind went a perfect blank white, and I can't recall much of what was said after that. All I can remember was that she had volunteered for an extremely dangerous mission, and as a result, had lost her life. Volunteered for an extremely dangerous mission? Why would she have done that? Why didn't anyone stop her? She was still too green. I tried to wrap my head around it, but I was in total shock. If I hadn't helped during her final exam, Rin would not have become a shinobi. Her dream would have ended, but at least she'd still be alive. I wept. For the first time in my life, I wept aloud. From an early age, my parents had driven home the point that a would-be shinobi must set aside their feelings. And yet, I wept. I could do nothing else.
Hebijoとの戦いに俺を頼るような奴は、忍びになるのを諦めてここから去れ。
If I were to fight off Hebijo for them, I wouldn't really be helping them at all. The path of the shinobi is a harsh one. One must continue to fight even when no help is coming. I can only do one thing for those who wish to join that world. I can teach them not to let their emotions control them. There's no need for me to comfort them. What happened to Rin must never happen to any other student. The 5 of them listen to my words in silence, but not one of them moves to leave.
キリア先生、私をもっと鍛えてください。
Asuka shouts, raising her hand.
あたいも徹底的に頼むよ。
Katsuragi shouts in turn. Ikaruga and Yagyu quietly raise their own hands.
ひばりも頑張る。キリア先生に頼らないで戦うよ。だからキリア先生、ひばりをしごいてください。
Even Hibari gives me a look of absolute resolve.
そうか。お前たちの気持ちはよくわかった。それじゃ修行を始めるぞ。
I cannot directly watch over my students, but I can teach them how to protect themselves. I finally understand what it means to be a high shinobi. I will pass on all my skills and knowledge. I will teach them every hidden art and hide nothing. So my precious students will carry on and survive for future battles. It is the only way I can look after them.
Katsuragi さん。
ああ、イカルが。
大丈夫ですか？
何が？
まだ落ち込んでいるようですから。
落ち込んでる？あたいが？もうヘビジョに負けたことなんて気にしてないって。
さあ、ならいいのですけれど。
ごめんな。変な気を使わせちまって。俺におっぱい揉んでやるよ。
それは結構です。とにかく何か心配事があるならちゃんと相談してくださいね。
さすがはクラス委員だ。敏感だな。落ち込んでいる生徒は見逃さないや。日陰強いな。まさかあたいが膝をつくなんてさ。
あんたは弱いな。
このあたいが弱いか。ほんと舐められたもんだよ。だけどこのまんま黙っていられるか。特訓また特訓で必ず日陰を倒してやる。Katsuragi, 舞い忍ぶぜ。
Alright, this time I'll do a shinobi transformation.
みなぎるぜ。いくぜ。忍び前進。
Hello, you. There we go. I didn't realize I needed 2 scrolls in order to do the heavy ninja art. Ah, that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just checking boxes here. For secret growth medicine, huh? Anything else? Oh, there it is, right there. Katsuragi is another one I have a hard time working with because she has a whole lot of like hold the button to attack in order to get like her full potential unlocked. And I like more just mashing buttons. Whoop!
Yoっしゃ！あたいは強い。あたいが最強。待ってろよ。次に会うときはお前をぶっ飛ばしてやる。そんでもってセクハラ地獄を味わわせてやる。最高だな。
マネー。
この技いい感じじゃないか。
All right. I believe everybody. Oh, Katsuragi seems to be pleased up again. All right. So Katsuragi is the only one who is currently feeling back on top. So yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here because that was that was a good 20 minutes of plot and backstory. So yeah. So until next time, thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.